Built for builders, from beginners to pros, this is where great backyards begin. Welcome to the Ultimate Deck Podcast, your source for backyard building tips, product breakdowns, and pro advice from the front lines of the industry. Here are your hosts, Shane Chapman and Wade Laurent.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Deck Podcast. Wade and Shane, you got 3 in a row with both of us here, which is always great.
It's just the best.
So much better than just me rambling.
And I'm not back down here for a long time. I was just looking at my calendar, man. It's not good. August 19th. See you again.
Well, we're only doing like 2 weeks worth of episodes here, so sounds like we'll be back to just me then.
To bring them, maybe bring it up to Saskatoon.
Yeah, maybe. We can maybe do that. Resurfacing your deck is the topic today. This is a decision many people are faced with when their deck boards start to look a little shoddy. Things are starting to look not so great, but maybe the deck's not that old and you're thinking, I need new deck boards, but I can probably reuse my frame. I'll preface this with saying like 79.4% of the time you're wrong. The frame's shot too. But for the other 20.6 of people, this is episode's for you.
Yeah. I would not have to work if I had $1 for every time somebody walked in the store and was like, my frame's still good. We wouldn't have to do anything other than sell that phrase.
Yeah, I think just a hair under 80 is probably conservative on that number.
I think everybody says it. So, but typically if the board on the top of the deck is toast, then the board's holding the deck is they're toast too, typically.
Right. They come in and they're like, my deck boards are rotting. And you're like, oof. And the frame's still okay? I think the frame's probably still okay. Why do you think that? Is there some sort of barrier between your deck board and your joist that is protecting it from being
those
transferred?
Don't work.
Or is that, maybe a product such as that? Do you have that? No. Too bad that didn't exist.
Yeah. So this topic is relevant because most recently there was a gentleman that came into the store and he was complaining about his deck and he wanted to change the deck. And he was like, I built this whole deck like 7 years ago. Things all fantastic, but the boards I've stained them and now the stain's peeling and it's at my lake property and I'm just tired of this shit. I don't want to go to the cabin and work every single weekend.
Totally.
So now I want to resurface my deck. And so he was getting ready he was going to replace that whole deck. And I believe he will. But the way the conversation in the store went was bad stain job, need to repair this. And I suggested that he pull all of his deck boards up, turn them over, put them back down, sand it, and stain it. And he was just like, I had never thought of that. And I was like, it isn't the perfect solution because your frame is now going to rot a little bit faster, but you could tape it because I believe that works. And I was like, and then that will help you. Like you'll be able to get a couple years out of it if you want, or you could change to composite at this time.
Yeah. And
he was like, you know what? It's a big, 700 square feet. Like it's a lot of area. That's a lot of money. And I don't know that I'm ready to spend that right now. I was like, okay, well then flip the boards over, stain them, do that one time, last 3 years, then peel them all back, put new composite on. And he may end up doing that. Yeah. So there are a few ways to resurface that deck. Scrape and sand to the one area that you have on, flip the boards over, peel them all off, tape the joists, and then put composite down. That's really it. You have 3 options.
Yeah. End of the
That's
episode.
the end of that episode.
3 minutes and 40 seconds.
That was a quick one.
You went and roll right to the end of the talking points, all in one shot.
Right. But but
that's the options.
Those are the options. And so as you work through that on your own project, you'll know what the answer is, right?
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Yeah. The first step to walk through is a little bit slower because I think a 4-minute episode is ridiculous. I think that's I know we're trying to make this a little bit shorter.
Okay.
The first step is to make sure the frame, as we were talking, make sure it actually is still good. So some tips for that is if you have the ability to get under the deck, which most of the time you would, do so because you cannot make a proper evaluation from the top. You can't just look down and be like, I think it's okay. You got to get under there with a screwdriver and start poking around at things. Now, if your deck is if it's more than 20 years old, you have a pretty small chance of that still being good. Now, here, let me add a little bit more to this. If your deck is between 10 and 20 years old, there's a small chance that it's probably still fine. It may still look okay at that 10, 11, 12 year mark, but it probably doesn't have a whole lot of life left in it. If your deck is more than 20 years old, then you may be lucky enough that you have some old CCA treated lumber or some Douglas fir framing, and it might be okay still. And it might be 30 years old. There's a chance. But if it's 18 years old, it's the new treated lumber, the non-dense, young growth, no more arsenic, treated, skin deep, don't last too long.
Fast rot.
That stuff.
Yeah, fast rot framing.
And there's a chance it's... Now, I think if you're switching to composite decking, it's crazy to retain a frame that's decades old. Even if it looks like it's in good shape, I still think you're now planning a product that's going on there for many more decades. It's unlikely your decks... It may have made the first 25 years just fine, but it's unlikely it's going to get another 30.
So in our store, everything has at least a 25-year warranty on it.
Yeah.
Your frame doesn't have that life left in it.
Right.
At 18 years, you don't have 25 more years.
If it's 2 years old, it doesn't have 25 more years.
Right.
Probably isn't any framing that has 25 more years. Now, if it looks really good, maybe it's only, and this happens, maybe it's only 6 or 7 years old because maybe somebody went and put, here's a couple scenarios we see from time to time. Somebody goes and decides to do a treated deck 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they regret it. They wanted to do composite at the time. They couldn't afford it, didn't want to, whatever the reason was, they didn't do it.
Yep.
They did treated, and now it's coming up to that, like they didn't do anything with it, and now it's starting to look pretty crappy, and they don't want to stain it, or maybe they did stain it and it looks like shit and it's peeling or whatever, and they have regrets and they want to switch to composite, and they're like, it's only 4 years old, and it's like, oh, okay, well then your frame probably is legit fine.
Probably fine.
The other option is they decided to go with the cheapest composite they could find, and they went to a box store and bought this cheapest shit on the shelf, not knowing that there's different qualities of composite decking out there, and what they bought is not capped composite like the current generation. It's imported from a market where they don't have the same climate and weather. It's just a trash product, and it's failed within 3 to 5 years. That's another thing we see semi-frequently.
Yep.
So for those two reasons, you may still have a frame that's just fine because your deck's not that old and it already needs replaced for some reason.
What you should have done was talk to your mortgage broker at the time of building your house and been like, can we figure out a way to get this deck built into my mortgage? Because it's going to be here forever, just like the house is. Why can't I just build the proper deck at the right time and build it in my mortgage for $2 more a month instead? Yeah. Anyways, carry on.
That's it. So make sure the frame's still fine. If it's still fine and you're replacing the boards, this is where you got to tape your joists.
This one's a non-negotiable for me.
Do it.
Yeah.
I don't you're popping off a whole bunch of boards that you're leaving screw or nail holes in, and it's already got some life out of it, but the holes are no longer filled by a fastener. So they're just inviting water and crap and dirt and debris into the holes there where it's going to rot from the inside out. If you're using like Hemfer or SPF lumber, which you are if you're in like basically all of Canada or the Northwest US, and a lot of the northern markets in the US, that this treatment doesn't go very deep in that stuff. It's skin deep. It's like a 16th of an inch deep is all you're getting out of that.
We'll just cut a board. You'll see it.
Sometimes it's in size to get a little bit deeper. If you have southern yellow pine, sure, it may be treated all the way through. But regardless, once you invite moisture into the core of the board, it's going to rot from the inside out faster, and you've pulled all these screw holes out and invited thousands of entry points for water. Tape the damn joists if you're doing a resurface. It's crazy not to. And then you can put on whatever you want. So that, to your point, is option number one. You can rip off all your boards if you're just tired of the hassle of maintaining your wood deck, and you can switch to composite. Fine. Take them off, tape it, put them down.
The other thing that I didn't mention, and it was really great to refer to the notes you've made, is that the gentleman that I was talking to, his deck was 24 inch on center.
Ooh, yeah. There you go.
And he had 2x6 decking.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, so this is fine. This is totally fine. You're now going to go to 12 inch on center if you do composite, because you're just going to throw a joist in between. I was like, that's the fastest way to do this.
And
right?
12's great.
12's great. There is a drawback to that. You have old, dry lumber that's already there, and you're going to put in new, wet lumber.
Yeah. And
in a year or two, it's going to take some time, and it'll climatize, and that framing is now going to be wavy, and you might have to deal with that. Like your
moguls.
You might have
moguls.
Some moguls. So anyways, it's something to be aware of.
Totally. Yeah, that's a tough thing to manage.
It's
mixing
really
old and new
hard
lumber.
to do that. But anyway, so be aware of the spacing, right? 16-inch on center is important. It has to be that for composite.
There's some decking out there now, composite and PVC, that claim they can do 24 inches in center.
You know what? We did it. We just did it on a deck in Saskatoon. We took the Apex Plus.
Really?
It's 24 inch.
Because it was an existing.
It's over a hatch. We did like a sump pump hatch. And so you lift
sure.
it up and there's like a 24-inch opening on that.
Yeah, that's a good spot to do it where you're trying to reduce weight.
Spongy.
Too. Is it?
Yeah, you can feel it for sure. The rest
I
of
would
the deck,
expect it to be.
yeah, it's not like
That's what I would think.
it's not crazy spongy. It's not.
Yeah.
But you can tell.
But it's structurally fine.
Totally.
Say, like it's
I would say that it deflected. Now, granted, I'm down 20 pounds, but it's like, what am I? Probably 210 pounds, and it deflected likely an 1/8 of an inch, right, or 1/16 of an inch.
So
like I can feel it.
Do you think it was like similar to what a regular PVC would
Yep.
feel like at 16?
Totally,
It's like similar to that.
totally. If you took like Azek or Wolf or whatever, and it was 16-inch on center on a warm day in the sun, same deflection.
Gotcha. Do you remember we were at, I think it was Deck Expo a couple of years ago, and Ware Deck had a
Yep.
not a display, but like a tester thing where they had their decking installed. I think was it a 24s or was it 16s?
No, it was 24s. I thought.
24s, and they had somebody else's decking. I think it made it start with an F and then end with an N, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, and they had the two, and it's like step on this at 24 inches on center, and of course the other brand one, I think it actually broken because it's not supposed to be installed at 24 inches on center.
Yep.
It wasn't done like you're allowed to do it, and this is the reason it will flex and eventually break. But theirs at 24 inches on center was like you could stand on it, jump on it. It was like, yeah, it might have deflected that 1/8 of an inch, but it was strong. And compared to like regular stuff, how much it flexed and then eventually broke,
which is amazing for docks, right?
Yeah,
that's the use. But anyways,
little off topic here, but that's somewhat related. And then to your point, just because you're tired of maintaining your deck does not necessarily mean you have to go to composite. Maybe you switch to a product that's just like easier to maintain. Still requires some work, but it's not the nightmare that you're currently dealing with. Because what happens is people get to a point where they're just like fed up and they're just like, I want to switch at all costs.
I thought for sure you were saying an F-bomb. You started that. You're like fed up. And I was like, oh my God. You like that?
Here we go.
Fix Auto.
7 years.
Right? Like that commercial. I thought for sure that was happening right there.
No, but they often it's because they've used a terrible stain product and it's peeling, it's flaking, it's a nightmare to maintain. They've done it 4 times and the same result every year. Every year in spring comes and it's peeling up again, and I'm tired of this shit, and I'm just like, it's time to switch composite. And it's like, well, or you could not use bare stain.
Just use a penetrating oil.
Or you could not use Thompson's water seal.
Yep.
Or you could not use any of the other like well-known products you find on a box store shelf. Like use something that's actually a professional grade product, and you wouldn't have any of these issues.
Yep.
So get rid of that stuff. Use a stripper. Q-Tech's got a stripper. Everybody's got a stripper.
Yep.
Strip off the old, whatever you got on there, paint, stain, whatever it is. You may have to do some sanding as well.
The rubberized coating. I did that rubberized coating because it'd have great grip. And it's like,
I've heard that shit can be a nightmare to get off though.
That's awful. Yeah. It doesn't stick until it sticks.
The irony of that stuff is, it peels off except for where it doesn't, and then it never comes off.
You can't. Yeah.
So, but get rid of the stuff. Using a stripper is a great idea because it'll do 90% of the work for you. You might still have some sanding to do here and there.
Certainly.
It'll get rid of a lot of the crap. If you haven't ever stained it and it's just aged, it's just gone gray on you or dirty, you can use a cleaner and a brightener. And so Q-Tech also has that. Q-Tech Reviver is an aggressive cleaner and a brightener in one. So one step and it cleans all the crap off there, strips it, preps it for a new oil coating, and removes all the gray and brings the wood back to its natural color. If you don't need that brightening part, you can just do the quick clean, which just gives it a nice clean and a prep for stain.
Yep.
And then apply Q-Tech Extreme Oil. And like, I know this sounds like an ad. It's not. We've never been paid a dime by Q-Tech. It's just that not often do you come across a product that is so just about what was there.
Flippin' amazing.
That is so great that it's like you talk about it all the time. And it sounds like you're just become a homer for it. And I am a homer for it. And I said something, I made a post on Reddit a while back that a guy replied to just recently. I made the post like a month ago, but he just replied to it like a couple days ago. And it was a guy who was like, he's a painter. He's like, I had talked about like the benefits of Q-Tech, and he came in, he's like, let me tell you about Q-Tech. And he had this big thing, whatever. He's like, I'm a painter, and I've spent years and years using these products, and I was getting called back to do this because it's paint, it's stripping and blah, 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 flaking and all this crap. He's like, and then I discovered Q-Tech at one point. He's like, I actually saw it at some demo place, whatever. And he's like, I saw how like they had drilled a hole in the wood, and he's like, and it absorbed 1.25 inches into the wood and like spread. And he's like, I just thought that was incredible. So I switched to that, and he's like, this product is an absolute game changer. He's like, this isn't just fluff. Like, I am a painter. I've done this. This product has been a game changer for my business. What used to take us 3 days to go out and strip and sand and blah, 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 and prep and then paint and whatever. He's like, now it's like, we go out, it's like, it's an hour to do this, and then it's the rest of the day to oil it. It's an hour to prep it, just to clean it up.
It's just wild.
He's like, it's just an incredible product.
Yep.
And so for us, it's like we talk about it lots, and it sounds like a paid ad, but it's not. And I said to this guy, I was like, thanks for not thanks, but like, that's a great endorsement of the product.
Yep.
Happy to hear somebody else has enjoyed it as much as we have. And I said, deck stains are a very small portion of our business, but consistently Q-Tech is the one that we get the most number of people that come back and give like unasked for feedback to say like, this shit was awesome, you guys. Like, yes. I'm telling everybody about it. It's like, we don't get that kind of feedback from any brand of decking, any brand of railing,
ever,
any of the lumber, none of the other stuff that we sell much more of. We don't get nearly as much feedback and happy customers. Like some of the decking people are like, this stuff is really great. And you get that from time to time. Q-Tech is like all the time.
Yeah.
And so the maintenance schedule on it is super simple. So if you're sick of your paint peeling or your solid stain peeling or your Thompson's lasting 3 months or whatever it is, switch to a product that penetrates and does a proper job of repelling water and fighting UV.
Yeah, and there's lots of reasons to stay with wood, right? So it's like it's not as hot. You have a dog and you're worried about scratching product. It's not as slippery. You know, there are actual benefits to using wood. It's a little bit softer. It's not as hard on the body to walk on. You know, and there's just like,
and it's beautiful. And
you can change the color of it.
You can make it look new again.
Yeah.
The thing with composite is it's never going to look better than it does on day one.
Yep.
It will get dirty, which is fine. You can clean it. But like over time, like a car,
it'll scratch.
You're going to get a ding.
Yep.
You're going to get this. It's just like, it's going to age over time. It's not going to fade. Like I shouldn't say it's not going to. If you get a good product with a fade warranty, it won't noticeably fade to your eyes over time. Like it's going to look great. But the thing with, you often see people post their pictures after they've used Q-Tech. Like they've had this bad experience. Like I bought this bare crap and here it is before. And then I stripped it all off. And it was a lot of work, but then I switched to this and here it looks again. And it's like, holy crap, that looks better than it did on day one.
Yeah.
Like your deck is brand new again.
Yeah.
So you get that as long as you're okay with a bit of maintenance.
Yep. Yeah. It's incredible. So I think that's just a really good option for resurfacing the deck. It's just to pull the boards up and flip them over. So
yeah, so that's it. If you're looking to resurface and save your frame, it may very well be an option for you. Go under the deck with that screwdriver. I maybe didn't finish that thought before, but go under there with a screwdriver, and the areas that are susceptible to common rot, poke at it with the screwdriver. And if it flakes away, if it's soft and flakes away, it's rotting. So those areas are, unironically, the tops of the joists where the boards sit, where water can get trapped. That will often get soft. Your ledger board can get soft if it's not flashed properly and not managing water. Anywhere water can get and doesn't dry. The tops of your beams where they're laminated together, their 2-ply, 3-ply beams can get a little bit soft in there. If you have wood posts that are blocked in, like railing posts, can get soft there. Where the posts are sitting on concrete potentially, can get soft there.
Yep.
So poke everything with a screwdriver. And
or
if
the
it's
joist,
still nice and hard.
Where the joist meets the beam, right?
Yeah.
Like when the joist is sitting on beam.
Yep.
Where
wood touches wood.
That's it.
Really.
It's most likely to happen there.
Yeah. So poke around. If it feels sturdy, then it's probably fine. If it starts flaking away, it's over. And don't fall into the like, well, I had like 3 of them were rotting, but the rest are fine. It's like, come on, 3 of them didn't.
Yeah.
3 of them didn't age, and then the other ones are still decades of life left.
Perfect.
Those ones have started. The other ones are very close to doing the same thing.
That's right.
So
yeah,
if any rot has shown up, it's probably time. Okay. Hopefully that helps. Until next week, take it easy.